Hi everyone!
Hi guys!
Welcome to episode 8 of How to Socialise Online. I can't believe it's episode 8. I am here with Bec from Health with Bec, and today we are going to be teaching you how you can use Instagram to start a wellness business. And Bec's going to be giving you lots of tips.
I'm so excited.
I'm excited to have you! Yay! So Bec, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Okay, so my name is obviously Bec.
Is it Rebecca?
It's Rebecca, but no one calls me Rebecca.
Do you know what's weird? You don't look like a Rebecca, but you look like a Bec.
Okay, that's good. I want to hear that. The only people that call me Rebecca is my sister, because she's like my older sister, and she's like Rebecca, so it gives her authority. But like, if anyone calls me Rebecca, I'm like, no. I've just changed. We'll get to this, but like I had that weekend. I went to Brisbane to kind of get advice from other business people.
Yeah.
And one of the best things I took away was, I was like, okay guys, we're sitting down at dinner. I was like, I've got a question for you. I don't know whether to sign off on my emails with Rebecca or Bec, and like through my
sexy.
and like through my like website and stuff, or even like when I'm writing, I don't know, I'm like, sometimes I'm Rebecca, sometimes I'm Bec, and I'm like, I said to them, guys, is it unprofessional to just call myself Bec? And they're like, no, use Bec. So I was like, oh, but that's been a stress of mine for so long.
Isn't it funny? Okay, I'm sure everyone watching can relate to this. There are things that happen in business that for you are like, oh, I don't know whether to do this or this. And then someone will be like, just do that. You're like, oh, yeah.
But it's good to get advice off the right people though, because I would ask like a friend or whatever, but when it's from actual like-minded business owners, there was 4 of them at dinner, and I just loved them all, like their opinions. And I was like, okay, tell me. They all said Bec. I was like, beautiful, done. Like that's So yeah, I'm Bec. I'm definitely Bec, everyone.
So that took us 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So this is Bec.
Okay, I
do not call her Rebecca or you're out.
Okay, so my business is called Health with Bec. Basically, I did my science nutrition degree. So after I finished school, I just knew that I was obsessed with science. Like
Science nerd.
Have to claim this because
she came here today in a white lab coat. Just kidding.
I didn't actually like the lab part, but like when I finished school, I got the Human Bio Prize. So I was like,
did you?
The best in the year.
You are a nerd.
And I actually could have done medicine. I got enough, like a high enough score, but I just loved science. So I went straight to UWA to just do a science degree, but I was like, this is too broad.
UWA is like the big university in Perth.
Yeah. And then I was like, what can I change to? This is after a year. That's a mix of human bio and science, but also health, because I'm obsessed with health and eating and food, but also, trying to like stay slim and stay energized. So I did a nutrition degree, so that was a very science-based degree as well. And that took me 3 years. And then from then, in my final year, most people like would go into placements and work for other people and get experience and do stuff, but I don't know what, like, I don't know why. I just knew what I wanted to do.
I find that so amazing.
And no one else did what I did. Like, I didn't have many uni friends because I'd just like go and leave. I wasn't a big fan of it. Okay. But the people that I did tell, they were like, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm starting to work by myself. They're like, what?
That's amazing.
How are you going to do that? Because we didn't get taught how to consult or anything about business.
Are your parents business owners?
Yeah, actually, my mum had a retail fashion business when she was younger.
Maybe that was something to do with it.
And then Dad has his own business. He's a dentist, so he's such a hard worker, and he, went straight from uni to build that. So I don't know. It's
in your blood.
But also, this might have been part of it. I had like a few casual jobs when I was studying at uni. One of them was nannying, which I loved. The other 2 were, one was a cafe, which I lasted like 6 weeks in, no joke. I'm not a waiter, it just wasn't for me.
Okay.
But I got warned. People were like, don't work there, Bec, because the boss...
I thought you meant you got warned by the company. Like, you suck, you're not a waiter, you shouldn't be here.
No. So like, people were like, why are you choosing to work at that cafe, Bec? It's been renowned for a horrible boss. And I was like, I don't care, I'm tough, like... I'm quite an introvert. Like, people would think I'm shy, but I think I've got a backbone. Like, I know how I want to be treated. Okay. So I was like, I can do it. It's fine. But yeah, she was a bitch. So I lasted
so the people
6 weeks.
Were right.
But and then I worked at I don't know if I should know this, but I worked at like a retail shop, and the boss was really hard as well. So lots of people would be like, "Oh, just be careful, she's hard," you know. But I was like, I can deal with that. So I worked there for 2 years, but I think doing that made me realise that I don't want to work for anyone else.
Yeah,
maybe.
fair enough. Yeah.
So, and because I learnt so much in my final year of uni, because I went through quite a few of my own health hurdles for a few years, so I had a really bad gut problems, and I was just gaining weight so easily, like just too easily for what I was doing. Went through a few years of like figuring all this stuff out whilst I was studying. So piecing all of the science I was learning together with my personal health experience, I was like, plus having the bad bosses maybe, I was like, I just need to teach people how to improve this, because so many other women have weight issues and gut health issues. So, and because I'd found solutions, I was like, this will be rude to the world if I don't start teaching women.
Good for you.
So yeah, so I was like, I'm so excited to do this. So I finished uni, started an Instagram account, and I started that sort of in my like the last 6 months of my degree. And it was just like posting pictures of food. But
was it always called Health with Bec?
Yeah. Do you want to hear how I figured out the name?
Yes.
Okay, so usually with names, people get really hung up on like, should it be this, should it be that?
Like you with Bec or Rebecca?
Yeah, not as bad, no. But I was like, what do I call my business? And I couldn't figure it out. I was like writing all these clever little words, asking my parents, asking my friends, like Googling, you know, whatever. And then I just couldn't figure it out, but I knew I wasn't going to be starting my business until I finished uni, but I wanted to start my Instagram, like...
Okay, can I stop you? Why?
Oh, because good question. Good question.
Here's a tip, guys. Get ready.
I mean, I didn't know about Instagram marketing back then. I just sort of knew that it would be good to build an audience before.
Ding, ding, bloody ding.
Before I actually officially start a business, because people need to like
get to know you.
Get to know me.
Yes.
And I was also just
I love that.
I also just needed to start sharing what I was learning, because I was so passionate about it.
Yeah.
So I was walking along the beach one day, because I love going for long walks. That's when my brain goes business idea and it also happens in bed. But that's when I was like, okay, I want to start an Instagram today. I actually started to build it as I was walking, which is dangerous, but like I was excited.
I love it.
And I was like, oh,
safety first, kids.
And then it got to the prompt where it was like, what do you
want your name to be?
What do you want it to be? So I was just like, oh well, I don't know what I'm going to call myself yet, but I'll just say Health with Bec for now.
Okay.
And then so it was Health with Bec. But then people started being like, Health with Bec, and like it just had a ring, and they were like, why don't you just keep that as your business name? And I was like, okay, like it's got health in there, it's got Bec in there. Yeah. So it's just my business name now.
And it works.
I didn't overthink it.
You didn't overthink it. It's very clear what you do.
And walks are good for your brain. You know?
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah. And then, so where were we? So then, so then I finished uni, and I'd already had this Instagram going, and then I started off just being I guess you'd call myself like a consultant. So
had you like fully registered a business name, got your website, all of that was Health with Bec, got it.
So I finished uni, then I just was so excited, so I like had to celebrate and do some partying and like, you know, have Christmas and like go down south and stuff. And then I had a really good nannying job. And I was still living at home, so I wasn't paying rent, which was really good.
Helps.
Yeah. So then I decided to like build my website myself. And I just kept posting at least once a day with my passion and my sort of point.
So when was this that you were posting once a day?
This was, this was 3.5 years ago.
Okay, cool.
3.5 years ago. Yeah. So I was posting, and when the website was built, I was like, okay, I want to try and get clients, obviously. And I'm such a one-on-one person that I just knew that I wanted it to be really personalised with women that have similar issues to me. And then, so I was kind of putting that out there in my Instagrams and stuff. That was the only way I advertised.
Interesting.
Some people would say to me like, why don't you like give a free consult to a family friend or like, and I was like, no, I've got my qualifications. I'm not doing anything for free. So I think that's important because I think people need to know your value. And I also was like, I wanted to do it myself. Like I didn't want it to be a family friend or like a friend. I wanted it to be a random from Instagram that wanted to see me.
I understand.
So when that first happened I think it was like, so I finished uni. I'm so bad with numbers too, like you said before. Like let's say I finished uni
Sometimes
like
3 years ago.
Like 4 years ago. But in that first year of business when I was trying to get clients, like I would only get maybe like, it started with 1 a month, then it changed to like 3 a month.
So is this over DM? How when you say get clients, talk us through how that happened.
I'm pretty sure it would have been, like, can I see you through DM? And then I always go, okay, email me and we'll arrange.
So they slid into her DMs and then you moved it onto email. Why did you do that?
Oh, because, I mean, back then I didn't get many DMs as well, but now I'm like, I like everything to be in one place. So if people are booking in appointments and they DM me, I'm like, say this thing to me in emails because then you can keep everything there. And then that's where I've got their email address, I've got their name, and then what I do is...
And then you own that data. Because remember, Instagram has borrowed space. So you want to get your followers off the platform to something that you have control over.
Love that. And I didn't know all that back then, but it was just easier for booking. So basically that...
Wrapped up in a bow is it just is easier the other way, but that's why you need to do it.
And so I would get, a few clients, and then I was still nannying, which was cool because the mum was so nice and she was like, the kids were a lot older. So it was more just like ironing and folding clothes and stuff. She was like, you can just come and go as you please, just do like 7 or 8 hours a week, which worked so well because I didn't know if I was going to get a client or if I was going to get 2 or if I was going to get 3.
So you needed a job to support yourself with sort of some flexibility.
Which I was really blessed with, but I think it's important to have that part-time job. But I really need to say this. I was getting from my parents, they were like, you need to be working like 3 whole days a week at least, or 4 whole days a week because, like you need to be working that much. But I was like, I knew back then, I was like, no, I need time to post Instagrams. I need time to create the recipes and take photos. I need time to build my website more. I need time to learn about business. So I just made peace with only making a small amount of money a week because I needed that free space in my calendar to actually...
Well, you changed your priorities, didn't you? Time then was really valuable for you, whereas money maybe wasn't so much because you were living at home and you didn't maybe have that pressure. But I imagine you weren't going out and buying bags and shoes and clothes and you were being careful.
I was like, I just need enough to just like obviously eat and do what I want to do and still like go out with my friends and stuff. But I didn't need that extra money to, I don't know, to save for a holiday or whatever because I'd done all my holidays. I was like, I need time, and like everyone needs to know that you need time to prepare Instagrams.
You do.
And to write a blog and to do things that like most of my hours I'm not getting paid for. It's like
content creation.
And I just knew that back then. So I only did like, a small amount of nannying to just get me by. But then what happened was I started to get really, really, really booked towards the end of that first year. And then I actually did a 4-week plan with this woman in Queensland called Jahan, and she...
And did that come off Instagram?
Came off Instagram.
So you're in Perth, and after a couple of months, you were already getting interstate inquiries because of Instagram. Amazing.
So it was never just Perth-based. It's always been whoever,
And do you think, like, what was your strategy behind that? Were you targeting people and following people from different states and using different hashtags, or were they literally just finding you and you don't even know how?
I wasn't using any tactics back then. I'm using more now, and we'll talk about that. But back then, and this was after a year though. So this was like end of my first year of business.
But is that including that 6 months that you had spent building up your following before you
that's
finished?
like a year and a half.
Okay.
I think. So then she reached out to me. She was like, I don't know how I found you. I found you in the Explore feed. I've been looking for a nutritionist. It's fate. She did a 4-week plan with me and lost 10 kilos, but not in 4 weeks. She did it, like she repeated it. And she was like, oh, I've actually got a podcast. Do you want to be on it? And I was like, yeah.
What's a podcast?
I didn't know what a podcast was back then. But it was a really good podcast that helps creatives and businesses with tips to start up and to So, and it's quite a well-known one. I didn't know back then, but I went on it and that changed business for me. Like,
really?
I went on that, and then every week, so this is 2017, just after Christmas, got released. Every week it would be like someone from Queensland, or, I mean, I guess a podcast is, you know, whatever, but New South Wales, everywhere, New Zealand. I've heard you on the podcast, can I book in?
Wow.
I've heard you on the podcast, can I book in? So then I got to the point where within 3 months, I was just, I was like not wanting requests to come through, because I was just like, I can't fit people in.
And you were doing everything yourself at this point as well?
Everything myself. Yeah. So a lot of my time is spent.
How many hours a day were you working?
Oh.
How many days a week were you working?
I've always been pretty strict with having Sundays off, always. Okay. But yeah, at that point, it was like, I always, as soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm in work zone. So that would be like 6.
What time do you wake up? 6?
Between 6 and 6:30. Okay. Sometimes it's 5:30, depends. And I personally am quite sort of groggy in the morning, and I love to block work. So I actually just go, okay, I just want to get emails out of the way quickly while I have my coffee. And it takes away for me some of the overwhelm for the day, and I just smash it out.
I understand completely.
And then and I can just do it while I'm sort of a bit sleepy still, having my coffee, and then I'll do my exercise. And then
every day,
whether it's a walk or weights or with my PT, and then I'll come back. And then I'll work again for a few hours, and then it's like a lunch break. And then, but in my lunch break, especially in this year, like I'd be like, okay, my lunch break is laying in the sun while I eat and doing an Instagram. Or it's like laying in the...
So you're basically trying to find time within your day to integrate Instagram all the time. Yes. Because you realise the value that it has for your business.
100%. So like that would often be, especially in that year, when things were getting really hectic, that would be my like break, but still my Instagram time. Like when I'd sort of lay in the sun if it was summer and get some vitamin D while I do Instagram.
Well, that's like I walk on the treadmill and respond to messages.
Yeah.
It's my exercise time, but I may as well, my hands are free. May as well do something with them.
And it's fun. Like,
I'm not going to walk and be like,
and I always like, I don't know, it still was a break for me because I find that work really fun.
I love that you called it fun. I find it fun too.
It is. I think
it's cool.
I think if you're running an Instagram for a business, if you're not finding it fun, like I feel like you should find it fun because you should be posting about things that you're passionate about.
100%.
And to run a business, you need to be passionate about what you do.
Yes.
So it just comes naturally. You know, you're talking about what you want to teach your audience, so it just comes naturally.
If you really, really, really hate Instagram, outsource it.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot stress that enough. If you don't enjoy it and you've tried to enjoy it, and I teach Instagram marketing and I teach you how to enjoy it, but if you still don't enjoy it, get somebody else to do it, because you're not going to do a good job and your followers are going to start to notice.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be genuine.
That's so true. And because it's so important, it needs to happen, so you may as well just get someone else to do it and do the parts of your job that you do enjoy.
Yeah. But if you want to learn how to enjoy it, I will teach you.
Where were we? So we were like, I'd have the break then, and because you were like, how many hours a day did you work? So I'd have the break, but that was still work, and then I would work all day, and then I'd always have like dinner at 6:30, and then quite often I would work till 9, and that was that was 2017, and I'd sit next to mum on the couch and be like, I didn't really know how to shut off then. Like I thought it was fine to keep working till 9 or 10 when it was bedtime, because I was like, I have to do another Instagram. Like I want to keep growing. I need to reply to that email.
You saw the value of producing that content and being active online and engaging,
and
it was translating to sales for you. So that's addictive. When you start making sales from Instagram and it all makes sense.
Yeah.
It's addictive.
Yeah, and it wasn't just that. It was just, I was like, I just feel like I have a responsibility to my followers to do one post a day. And I just want to, because I'd learned something, and I just knew that I just wanted to keep
communicating.
Keep it consistent, because obviously consistency is important.
Yeah.
And I didn't learn boundaries yet. Like I just wanted to.
Oh. Hello.
Hi.
That's somebody else.
I just wanted to keep working because I do love it. So I would, answering a question about how often I'd work, it would be from pretty much the moment I woke up to the moment I went to bed. No joke. Apart from when I exercise. Even when I exercise, I'm listening to a podcast that's like nutrition or
He doesn't even know he's about to be Insta famous.
Oh, he doesn't know what he's in for.
He doesn't know what he's in for. I'm gonna have to start an Instagram account for him. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
So yeah, a lot of work. But I was so passionate. So even like on my exercise, if I was like walking, it would be like listen to a podcast about nutrition or marketing and
just learning and upskilling and giving yourself the best possible chance.
Yeah.
And it takes hard work at the start. No one starts a business, only works Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, and makes all this money and the customers just come at them. No one has that story. Trust me. I have worked with thousands of business owners and I have never heard that once.
No.
And I don't think I ever will.
No, it's crazy. I actually got asked this question recently when I was on this podcast about a similar thing, like my business journey, and she was like, what was different in your first year? Like, you know, and I was like, well, I didn't know. She goes, it was a question like, would you start a business again or something? Or like, what was your first year like? And I said back, I was like, I didn't know how much work it took.
Totally.
So like,
and you're driven by the passion for what you do and the need to, because I'm obviously in a similar role where I'm educating people and I really need to let people know this and let them know how simple and easy it can be when something that they're finding really difficult. And there's a drive that comes with that you're not going, oh, I don't know, it's 5 o'clock and normally I would finish work at 5 o'clock. Your brain changes.
Imagine finishing work at 5 and going, that's it, like, just switch off. It doesn't happen.
You funny.
But honestly, it's the feeling of reward is like, if I look back on the last 3 years, it's weird. I don't feel like I've worked. Like I've just loved it so much.
Yeah, same. I've had a really good time.
It's so good. It's so freaking good. When you love what you do and you find your purpose, it's like bliss. You know,
it's just very nice because I've experienced, as you did when you worked for that mean person, I've experienced waking up and being like, ugh, I have to go to work today. Whereas I wake up and I'm like, I get to do this today, or I get to do that today, or every day is different. And in saying that though, as I'm sure you would understand, there's stuff I have to do for my business and I'm like, I have to do this today. Because right now I can't afford to outsource it. One day I will be able to, / I'm a control freak.
Yes. /
I find it really hard to delegate.
I know, yeah.
But one day it's just going to have to happen.
Yeah.
And that's something you build up to.
100%. 130%.
Okay. Let us. Oh, there's something that, obviously you said you went to uni. So do you think starting a wellness business on Instagram, you need to have a qualification?
I encourage it, yes.
Yeah. Do you talk about that a lot with your followers?
I do a little bit, and I think people appreciate it. There's so much saturation with wellness Instagrams and stuff, and you can, depending on what you want to do, like people do start like wellness Instagrams and stuff, but I think because there are so many now, people are starting to be a bit more selective with who they listen to.
Yeah.
At least I hope that they do.
So it's really elevating you as the expert by having that degree and that information, that background, that knowledge.
Yeah,
and
sure.
That's why it's important to share it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you don't feel up yourself when you share it?
No.
Did you see this morning's lesson?
Oh, I saw it come through and I wish I had time to read it.
It's all about imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So, because I work with a lot of business owners who they have incredible degrees and experience and they're like, I couldn't share that. I'll look like a wanker.
Yeah.
And you need to share that. People need to know that information, but there's ways to do it without looking like a wanker.
Yeah.
Like a wanker.
No, I get that.
Okay, I love that. So, let's touch on, let's move on to specifically Instagram. So when you were starting off, you said that you felt really, really passionate and you were posting once a day, but how did you know what to post? Did you have like a guide or a plan, or how did you know what to post and when to post it?
Yeah, okay, so I would post, it took me a little while to work out my kind of like theme, but I kind of knew that I wanted it to be white and bright, so I think having that consistency with how it looks is important. And I was doing a lot of like podcast listening and like reading like what Instagram should be to kind of learn what to do.
Cool.
So I wish I had you back then, but
I wish I had me back then too.
But if you look at my Instagram back then, it's crap. Like it wasn't very nice.
Okay.
I would just like.
But it wasn't as a saturated space. back then as
Yeah,
well. There
yeah,
were not
true.
a billion people using Instagram.
No. So I just always wanted it to be educational. So I would do, but I knew people obviously like food. So there'd be like, I'd always want to do like a photo of food and then like a quote or something that was white. And that was my like thing that I had. So I was like, okay, food, something white. Food, something white. That was a really good way of like just always eating amazing healthy food as well. Because I'm like, well, I've got to get an Insta. So
True.
I
like it.
amazing.
I like it. That's how I feel about shoes and bags.
Yeah, so
I need to share them on Instagram, so I need to buy more of them.
Good little tip. But
that's what I say to Dom anyway. It's content. I need it for content.
I'm actually going to fast forward because back then it got to a point where after I was on the podcast, people were booking in, and like I feel like I wasn't to get clients because I only see about like 4 or 5 a week. It's not that many, so I wasn't like obsessed with marketing and stuff at that stage.
Well, that's a good tip.
It wasn't until
it was a very organic process for you.
Yeah. So it wasn't until I actually made my first ebooks, that's a 3-week meal plan, because I'd worked with so many women and I could draw results and stuff together. Did my ebook after like, holy bloody hell, that was just a hectic bad time. But once it was released, I was like, okay, this is when Instagram needs to be more serious. Like,
you need a strategy.
Email marketing strategy. So what I do is like I don't have a day a week or a few hours a week where I plan my content. I know a lot of people do that and it works so well for them. But for me, I really like to do it as I go because it depends. I don't know what I'm going to be having for lunch on Tuesday, or I might have something but not have time to take a photo, and it'll just be like something that inspires me on the day. But something that's really helped is like I've got this app called Plan, and I like to plan my grid. So I've got at least like sort of 10 photos that I know that I'll use. So like when the day comes, I'll use one of them, or if that day something better happens, I'll use that.
Yeah, right.
So I've got a backlog of photos.
Yeah, you've got backup.
I don't plan my captions.
Okay.
But I've got my photos there so that I know that it's going to look consistent and pretty.
So you do all your photos first. Just have that ready to go.
Yeah.
And then the caption is just whatever inspires you on the day.
Yeah. But I know that photo grid will change because other things pop up, but I'll just make it fit in, and I'll go, oh, that one can wait till next week. Like, it's just so I've got the backup, but like.
And all your photos you take yourself on your phone?
Yeah. I'm going to start using this camera that I bought, but I haven't learned how to use it yet.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So
you
my
take
phone.
all your content yourself on your phone?
On my phone.
And how did you learn how to take good photos on your phone? Or did you just know?
I just learned. I take them on my iPhone. I've got an iPhone 7.
I think you've got the same as me. A 7, maybe?
7,
Plus?
something plus.
It's so hard to keep now.
I think it's a good one.
It's like an iPhone 11 plus.
And then I used to just use the Insta filters. So this was like when I was amateur back in the day. But now I use Lightroom. So there's an app on your phone that you can download. Free. And I love that. And
Do you love Lightroom? People are either for or against Lightroom. Yeah, it's free, download it, play with it, see if you like it.
But I haven't tried anything else, so I don't know.
Cool.
But like everything, like I got it and I was like, what do I do? Learn how to use it. Like, and now that I've done however many, like I just kind of know, right in the background, select that food. Like I learned my settings. So I take the photo, upload it to Lightroom, make my edits, and then I'll like save it to Plan, or I'll post there and then. But I'll always look at it in Plan first just to see how it's going to look, 100%, because visual stuff is important. Yeah. And then this is what I've always been like with captions. I need to be like feeling it. Like it has to be
100%. I feel you.
Yeah, and it used to take me a long time to write a caption, but now that I've kind of found my like voice and I'm really confident in my approach and stuff, I just don't overthink it too much, and I need to be in the mood. And if I'm not in the mood, I just won't do it.
I think that's a really good tip because captions is something people struggle with so much. Yeah. And I like what you said about you found your voice. So what do you mean by that? And how did you find that? And what is that?
So I really like being educational, but I've got a bit of a weird side to me as well. And like
kinky weird?
No, just like funny and just like I don't want to call myself funny. definitely authentic. I love being real.
Yeah.
Love being real. Like, I don't
I
hold
think
back.
people get onto Instagram and they try and be something they're not.
Yeah.
And that's when you struggle.
Yeah.
And then you'll have, I don't know, a moment when you'll just have a rant, write it, post it, and all these people will respond, and you're like, oh, is that all I needed to do?
Yeah.
I can rant.
Yeah.
I rant all day.
Yeah. So it's, I like to just be like a bit conversational, a bit fun, but then also there's some that are just like very real, honest, and I don't know, I just feel like because my brand is me, and I've never had to sort of pretend to be someone else for, like, even with like dating and boys and stuff, people would say like, oh, act this way, or I'm just like, nah, I'm just gonna be myself. And then the right people will, when you're yourself, the right people will want to follow you and engage. So
I love that.
yeah, and you want to attract the right people.
Yeah.
So
why?
because they're going to be your future clients, you
Ding,
know.
ding, ding.
You don't want to be attracting and pleasing everyone, because if you're trying to please everyone, you never will be able to.
Never.
And you can't service to everyone. So your business has a niche. If you're sort of the face of your business, what you project, if it's you, and then people like it, then they're going to be the people that work for you, with you. And then what's happened with that is that I've actually got like every single one of my clients, apart from 2 in the whole 3 years that I've had my business, have been like incredible.
Amazing.
Like we click because they've got to know me over Instagram.
Yeah.
And because
I
I've
love
been
that.
authentic. So
Yeah.
they're like, I already know you. So they're women that are my ideal target market. Like they're just, it's so cool. So when you're yourself and your captions and stuff, people appreciate it and you attract who you want to attract. And it doesn't feel forced. I think if you tried to be someone else.
But there are times, like you said, there are times when you don't, when you're creative, there's times you're not. And when you try and force it, you're like, this sucks.
Yeah.
So just don't.
Yeah.
Don't force it.
Rest. Or like go for a walk or something and then.
Or spend time engaging instead.
Yeah.
You know,
Love that.
reach out to other people then, because it's about being active on the platform, and you can authentically engage when maybe you're not feeling inspired to write something educational.
Yeah. And something that I've been finding, because I don't, now that I'm just a lot busier, because I've got my business isn't just consulting, like I'm really cutting back on one-on-ones. It's more selling my ebooks. So that's massively taken over. And I don't really have like, sometimes I won't have, you know, that hour in the day to do it Instagram or whatever. So I completely forgot what I was just about to say.
Writing captions? Engaging?
No. I'll move on to the next question and I'll come back to it.
Something about food. Something about wellness. The same thing happens to me.
I think I was going to say like, I think it's good to choose the times of the day to write your captions when you know that your brain's going to be the most creative, because sometimes it's not like in the afternoon, or sometimes for people it'll be the morning. For me, I know that my brain's most on fire after I've like done a workout or done a walk. So I quite like to kind of just smash out the caption there and then save it till later.
I love that. Sometimes I will specifically go on the treadmill to write captions because endorphin release and you're like energetic and excited and words just come to you easier.
Do you know what? I actually write most of my captions either while I'm exercising in my head, this is me never switching off.
No, same.
Or driving.
Yeah, and then I use the Dictaphone app and I will just rant them out and then I will go and type
I need
them.
to know about that app.
Oh, it's just literally, it's on your iPhone. It's called Dictaphone.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you have to
I'll
do.
be listening to a podcast or listening to music and I'll be like, okay, oh, yeah, I'll write that. And I'll stop the car and I'll be like,
I love that you stop the car.
So
you pull over, a policeman's like, why? And I'm writing a caption for Instagram.
Yeah, it just
God.
comes to me. And so that's like multitasking, because there's less hours in the day now when you've got so much to do.
Yeah.
Find those times. I think this is why I like to often exercise alone and drive alone and do my own thing and spend time alone, because that's when your brain can be creative. I think if you're always with someone, it's like it's hard. So like finding that time alone and finding what makes you most creative. But if you don't know yet, like think about it while you're driving or think about it when you're exercising, and then it's like
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Okay, I feel like we've covered this, but I want like a bit of a specific. How do you manage your engagement with your busy schedule? So you've touched on sort of bits and pieces here and there, and you've talked about how you used to do it on your lunch break. Now, in 2019, how do you manage that now? Because you've got quite a big account. I imagine you get a lot of messages, a lot of comments, you're posting a lot. And with that comes the time that you've got to then spend responding. So how do you manage that?
So I used to always do it at night time, but then I found that I'm not a good sleeper, so it would keep me up. So I really try to stop replying to DMs and comments after like 8 o'clock at night.
So you'll just respond all day. Is that what you mean?
No, it depends. So like, okay, I have an hour in the morning that I do delegate to like replying to people's comments, replying to DMs, and then some emails too. So
and you do respond to everything?
Yeah, I try to respond to everything.
I love it.
Unless it's like a missed DM, and like I think people need to hopefully, I used to get anxious about it, but hopefully people just understand that you can't get back to everyone.
Today I got a wedding proposal in my DMs today. I sent it to Dom, was like, you've got competition, babe.
Oh my gosh.
It was some like Indian guy. But you never know.
Wow. Wow.
I'll send him to you. I'll be like, sorry, I'm taken.
Please don't.
But my friend Bec.
I got someone actually on.
But not have been the same person.
Like, not on when I did a live last night, being like, "Can I join you? You're hot," and I was like, "No, thanks, sorry."
Ew.
I know. No, as in like, "Can I join you on the live?"
No, you should have just in case.
And I got so distracted by what I was talking about. I was like,
annoying.
What was I saying?
Fame.
But yeah, I think it's really important to always respond to the comments on my posts. So I always do that. But then DMs, I try to get back to everyone.
Why do you think it's so important?
Because I think it creates the conversation, and it's also important for the algorithm, isn't it? To like, yeah. So
that wasn't a test.
Okay.
I'm just asking from your opinion.
Yeah. And I think it's just the more people think that you want to reply to them, and I do want to reply to them, like the more they're gonna want to work with you, because you need to be engaging with them.
It shows your customer service. It shows that you care.
Yeah. And if I wasn't replying, they'd be like, oh, she doesn't care. Like, why am I following her? Why am I going to buy from her?
You may as well tell the people, how many followers do you have?
I've got 11,600.
Okay. So it's a solid amount, but it is also proof that you do not need hundreds and thousands of followers to make sales from Instagram.
God, no, yeah.
How many followers do you reckon you had when you got your first customer from Instagram?
Oh God, I think maybe like 1,000.
Yeah.
I think.
That's really cool.
I actually can't remember though, but and then do you know what? It grew really slowly. It wasn't till I started like following you, and like this was about a year ago that I was like, okay, I need to grow my Instagram because I've got books. Like I've got this passive like income source now, so I need to expand, obviously.
Yeah.
So I only really started to learn about like engagement and tips and all this stuff, and how to grow through you and stuff. But there's
just how to be a bit more strategic, because you were obviously putting the time and the effort and the energy into it, but there's strategy that's going to help really convert that into sales.
Yeah. And I do, like, there's still so much I want to learn and need to learn, and like there's still so much I want to learn off you with the membership I'm in, and like I'm so excited about that. But I know I need to be doing more like sort of like competitions and stuff. But I definitely do believe, and 100%, like I feel like 11,000 is a lot, but like it's not a lot compared to some people. But they must be the right people. Like I feel like attracting the right people is good. Like if people unfollow me, I actually think it's a good thing, because
100%.
They weren't going to buy from me then.
It is better to have 100 followers and 10 who convert into customers than 100,000 followers and no customers.
Exactly.
Like the customers are what counts. It really, really is. And you don't need to have a huge following. You need to have an engaged following of the right people who have a need or want for what it is that you offer.
100%.
It's ultimately how you make a sale.
100%. So like I'm pretty happy with how my business is going, but like I'm sure if someone jumped on and looked at just my followers, they wouldn't know. I don't know, because like 11,000's a lot, but not a lot compared to people that have like 80,000 or whatever. But I know some people that have businesses that have a huge amount of following, and they say business is slow. Like it doesn't really matter with the the likes and the followers. It's those right people.
It's the right
and
people.
Nurturing those people. So I think it's almost good in a way to have less, because you do have the kind of time to get back to
100%.
people and stuff.
And I work with a lot of people who have really big followings, and every single one of them says that they wish they had less.
Wow. Yeah.
Because they're sifting through so much crap.
Yeah.
Versus knowing, okay, I can really connect with this person because they clearly are about me and they've come to me for me.
Rather than getting like you're hot or like
marriage proposals.
Yeah.
I don't need one of those anymore.
And then you'd miss clients.
You miss stuff, 100%.
Yeah.
So I love that. Did we finish that? Did you finish telling me about how you manage it? So you try and get off by 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and
then
I will do it in the morning, and then throughout the day, I mean, I just jump on, like I shouldn't, because I'm really trying to focus on like other projects, but I do throughout the day do it as well. Like, yeah.
But if that works for you, it works for you.
I just do. Like I'll be like, oh, I'll reply to that person now. But
yeah, there isn't a right or wrong, guys.
Yeah.
You need to find what works for you. Sometimes I get really overwhelmed with Instagram as well. So sometimes I will just turn off all my notifications and then I have control over it. And then I'll turn them back on when I'm feeling better.
I've always got mine off.
Oh, do you? Yeah. So you always have control of it. So like on your phone settings, you have Instagram off?
Yeah, always, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Mine are off right now.
Yeah. I just, because then I can choose when I want to go on.
Yeah, and it's that control thing, knowing you have control over it versus it having control over you.
Otherwise I'd get more distracted because I love going on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's an addiction.
Same.
So if the notifications run through, I'd be like looking at it too much and not get other work done. So,
I understand.
Yeah.
Okay, let us move towards the end of the interview. What is the best piece of business advice you've received?
Okay, good question because... good question. So I feel like I just taught myself along the way for a whole 3 years. And like I've now really, I don't know what it took, but this year, so for the last 6 months, my mindset has changed to go, okay, surround yourself with more business people, more like-minded people to get the support, because I feel like the busier I've got and the more kind of successful my business has got, almost the less support I've got from friends. It's a weird thing. So some are amazing, my parents are amazing, but in terms of support, like I've needed to find more business friends and stuff, which is why we had the best bloody catch up. But basically I didn't know many other business owners, so I didn't really get much advice for my first 3 years. And I just taught myself, and I've kind of liked that. Like I've always been like a control freak and going, okay, you can figure it out, like just, you can do it. But with that comes overwhelm. So about a month ago, I got to a bit of a breaking point where I'm feeling like I can't manage everything at the moment, and the weeks are going by and I'm just spending too much time on email and I haven't got ahead with my other projects, and I'm like, I need help. And I suffer from really bad insomnia. So I was like, I need business help for once. And I became really comfortable with that because I've been helping people for 3 years. Like it's always me helping people, like me figuring out how to do it I love it, but it's a lonely feeling too, because I'm like, 100%. I'm all alone.
It is. Me. And there is nothing worse than when something goes wrong in your business and you've tried everything, and I'm sure you've cried multiple times because you know that the only way to get through it is for you to work it out, but you're exhausted from working it out, and it's lonely. It's really lonely.
It is. So I went to Brisbane purely to meet a business coach and to meet this woman called Steph Taylor that has a marketing podcast that I've always listened to, and she's just helped so much with stuff with my business. So I got to meet her and Claire, my business coach, and that was awesome. And they gave me lots of advice, but like the best advice, and I actually heard this on the podcast, so this could be the answer to your question, but if you don't enjoy something in your business, delegate. And as soon as I've started to do that, but you've got to have, I guess, a steady income before you can start to do that. But delegate when it's not your point of expertise is a really good feeling. So I've been doing that a bit, but then that trip to Brisbane just confirmed that to me even more, because the woman was like, okay, no, you shouldn't be doing that. Find someone to do this. So
that's awesome.
I think that's good. And
I think on the note as well though, at the start, it is hard because you can't afford to delegate everything. But my business coach taught me that if you learn to do it yourself first and then delegate when you can, then basically you'll know what you need done. Yeah. And it sort of stops you from getting ripped off or not being able to find the right person. Exactly. So I think everyone does need to go through that point where you do it all yourself, because then you fully understand your business.
Yeah, no, 100%. So I think that would be it, like the delegate thing, when you can. And like just can I give one tip for me?
Absolutely.
Surround yourself with like-minded people for sure, because they get it. Like it's funny, like not many people get it if they don't have their own business. They don't get that you can't make that dinner plan, or you can't.
I think they don't get it's not personal.
Yeah.
Like if I say no to you, it's not about you, it's about me.
Exactly.
In that moment. And I can't give any more than I'm giving. Or if I want to catch up with you, I want to be fully focused on you, not worried about the disaster that happened just before I walked out the door that I know I'm coming home to. So I think if anyone watching this doesn't have a business or has friends that have a business and they can't, or they start getting busier and busier and they start saying no, they want to be there.
Yeah.
Like, we want to be doing the thing, whatever the thing is.
Sometimes.
But you just can't, because you know that your business won't survive.
Yeah, I can't just like not reply to, like I really value my, clients and requests. It would be so unprofessional if I just like didn't reply to someone asking about a plan or a service for 3 or 4 days. Like I've got to be there. And so I think it's important to, surround yourself with like-minded people, and also have that time to definitely delegate to like relaxing and spending time alone and like doing whatever makes you feel good, because in those times that's where you actually get inspired.
100%.
And I feel like without that you'd keep running around in that sort of hamster wheel and not figure things out. But those times that I have my walk, or like the Sundays that I have off, or just like I go for random long drives sometimes, that's when I'll go, oh, like what's not working in business, like what can I do, oh I've got that idea. But if I didn't have that time alone, that wouldn't happen. So
you've got to schedule in time off,
legit,
to recharge. Otherwise everything else that you're doing will become harder and take you longer.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, that was really good advice. Okay, what is next for Health with Bec?
What's next? Oh, okay, so much. And like it kicks me up because so much. So I've got 2-3 week meal plans now. And they're selling well and stuff, but like a lot of women have already done both of them. They're like, what's next? And I'm like, it's coming. So like, I didn't want to make another meal plan because I think I've done that.
Okay.
Because I'm getting more and more DMs and stuff, I feel like the demand is there to now start like a membership. So really similar to what you do, like drip content each week, so that there'll be like, I want to do education videos, I want to do recipes, and I want a place for everyone to ask questions, but for it to be filtered. So I just think I feel like it's a bit unprofessional of me too to be answering questions all the time when I do have the qualifications and stuff. Like you can't just text your GP. So it's going to be a community where people can do that.
Well, it's not unprofessional. It's about you knowing your worth.
Exactly.
And putting a value on that, because as you get busier, I mean, we're all in business to make money. It's not a Health with Bec charity. It's you're trying to make money, and you only have so many hours in the day, and you've got to start charging for what you do for free. Which doesn't mean you won't still be doing a bunch of other stuff for free, but
So that's starting. Hopefully that will be up in about a month. I also am in the process of like creating like another book, but like more of like just like a recipe book. So I did one for winter. I want to do one now that it's getting hotter. So like more salads and stuff that people can then sort of input into the meal plans they've already learnt.
I love it.
I feel like this became clear in my gut last week that I need to, but I just don't think I should even think about it this year because I'll stress myself out.
So you should definitely announce it online to 20,000 people.
Yeah,
go ahead.
True. I think I should start a podcast.
Do it.
Yeah. And because I love talking, I love conversations, and because, I've just done my couch chats with Bec, I feel like it would be silly if I didn't start a podcast because I think I should just do that. But I think I'm going to do that next year.
Okay.
So a membership,
isn't that far away?
A new sort of ebook, and
a
podcast. And then also next year, I want to do like an online course.
Okay.
So that's a big, like my books are only 3 weeks, but I want my online course to be a proper step-by-step, like 12-week intense like transformation for the people that really need it.
So big things coming. So on that note, if people want to work with you that are watching this, how can they find you?
They can find me at Health with Bec, so health_with_Bec on Instagram, or healthwithbec.com. So you can find me there. I've got my personalised services that I still am doing.
Your one-on-one?
Yeah, but I only take like about 3 people a week now, max. And then...
Getting quick.
Yeah, or my ebooks. But what I've got is like a quiz on my website. So if you guys are watching this and you want to know how, like, what's best for you, you can do the quiz to see if an ebook will suit you. Or I've got 10-minute free phone calls if you're really unsure. So people can book in that way, or through email.
I love it. And then I just have one last question that we missed that I think is really important message. What do you say to people who do not believe in the work benefits of a healthy lifestyle?
Oh, okay. I just don't understand it. I physically don't understand it, but if I try to explain to them, they're just like, whatever. I think it saddens me because if you're not feeding your body like lots of vegetables and like cutting down on processed foods and sugar and stuff, your energy levels are like up and down. You'll get crashes so that your brain focus won't be there. Your gut health suffers. So like for your gut health to be optimal, like your gut is your second brain. Like they're literally connected. So the better your gut health is, the better your focus is, but not only focus, your happiness. Like your 90% of your serotonin is made in your gut. And to do good Instagrams like we were talking about before, and to run a good business, you need to be happy. So your gut health needs to be good. So when people are eating like McDonald's and crackers and no veggies, I'm just like,
You pass out.
It's just, I'm like, or if they are busy, I'm like, how do you do it? It must be a struggle. Like it's...
What would you say if there was someone watching this and they were like, all right, I really want to change my lifestyle. I do eat crackers and I do eat Maccas.
Yeah.
And they hear you say veggies. Where, I mean, there's so many veggies. What's like a good place to start? How can they implement that really easily into their busy lifestyle?
So just make sure that you, at least with lunch and dinner, half of the plate is just like bulked up with veg. So a big salad, or with dinner, like make sure you've got, you know, heaps of veg, and it doesn't have to just be steamed, like, and you can put dressing on your salad, like it doesn't have to be boring or not tasty. Just make sure that you bulk your lunch and dinner up with veg and make them tasty in some way. So on my website I've got lots of different ideas, and in my ebooks you learn. But like even just like simple fresh veggies with olive oil, salt and pepper and lemon is good. Or cook them in garlic, ginger and tamari, which is like a gluten-free soy sauce to make it Asian. Or, yeah, there's so many different things. Make a stir fry. So if you just like focus on bulking those meals up with the veg, that's going to make a massive difference to your health in so many ways. And then just cut down on the processed food as much as you can. So that's just anything that comes in a packet, and focus on whole foods, so foods in their real state.
Unless you're buying vegetables in packet.
Yeah. But veggies shouldn't come in a packet.
Yeah, but like a salad.
Yeah. So that's a really brief answer to that question, because there's so many things that you can do to improve your health, but veg.
I love it.
Got to get the veg up.
Well, Bec, you have given us so much information
I
today.
hope so.
Do you not love her? I love her.
Thank you.
And I really hope that everyone watching has learned a lot about this and hopefully gotten some really good tips, not just for your Instagram, but also for your health and wellness and how you can use that to improve your business and your life. So thank you, Bec.
You're welcome, Brooke.
And
I love that.
we'll see you on Instagram.
Bye, guys.
Bye.